Street Level America, I'm Dave Adams. All eyes are on Washington, D.C. Well, they usually are, but especially now. Supreme Court is going to issue some monumental decisions. And here on this Thursday, there have been a couple that have kind of come out. I believe more of them are going to come out tomorrow and Monday. A lot of them will come out Monday at the end of the session of the Supreme Court. Two big wins for the Trump administration. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Trump administration regards to the issue of temporary protective status for 350,000 Syrians and Haitians. The critics of the Trump administration had said that they were prejudiced and they just were picking on the Syrians and Haitians. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Trump administration, saying you are not proving any instance of bias or prejudice. And so they allowed the temporary protective status to be removed. In the coverage, Fox News, Bill Melugin, who spent a lot of time on the border remember there were thousands of people and there tens of thousands of people under that bridge. Bill Melugin had seen piles of discarded documents from illegal immigrants because in their rush to get into America and not wanting to have any documentation on them that could disprove their argument for asylum. They did not want to have any documents on them that showed that they actually were living in a country other than they were born in. And so they threw those documents away at the border. And Bill Melugin said there were piles of documents there. Supreme Court ruling in favor of the Trump administration in the issue of temporary protective status, that the Trump administration did not have prejudice in removing the temporary protective status of those immigrants. Also, in another ruling that's come out so far this Thursday morning, regards to the issue of what's called metering or controlling or allowing kind of a meter or check valve where if there are too many applicants coming through, then they can stop that simply because they've reached the threshold of what they can process. Now, this was, I believe, started under the Clinton administration. The Biden administration did away with it. The Trump administration brought it back. And the Supreme Court ruling in favor of the Trump administration that it's okay to meter, I believe, asylum claims. The details are still coming through. But two big wins this Thursday morning for the Trump administration from the Supreme Court on the issue of illegal immigration and controlling immigration into America. There are some other big decisions to come. Birthright citizenship is the one that we're waiting for, and that's going to be a big one when it comes. Now, one of the Fox News hosts in talking about as the arguments were given both for and against by the justices, there's a lot of tension in the Supreme Court. And one argument or presentation of the facts by the majority justice, I think it was Sam Alito, supporting their decision in favor of the Trump administration. And then after the opposing justice gave her opinion, and then the supporting justice rebutted that. And apparently that's quite extraordinary for there to be a kind of a argument or debate on the Supreme Court over the issue of a decided case in which they're just rendering their reasons for issuing their votes. So a lot of tension in the Supreme Court. Wouldn't you like to be in there to hear the arguments? And I think we know, and these votes were along party lines, and we all know who are the conservative justices and who are the liberal justices, and these votes were on party lines. What we're waiting for is the issue about birthright citizenship. The issue and the complaint that America is becoming a mecca of birthright tourism. In other words, if you're pregnant, you can sign up, come to America, have your kid, and then have that as a ticket to have other family members and possibly the mother and father come into America too. The issue of birthing tourism in America has become an issue. The founding fathers, I don't think, ever envisioned this happening. That's a problem. The issue of birthright citizenship. And my concern is if the court allows birthright citizenship to continue, it's going to be Katie bar the door, and every pregnant person who wants to come into America is going to come here, have their baby, and there you go. So that ruling is going to be monumental. It's going to be groundbreaking, and there's going to be a lot of, shall we say, passion on both sides of the argument. So let's see what happens with that particular case. Speaking of celebrities who hate America, all right, ashamed of America. I can't remember the name of the celebrities, but there's been a few of them out there. If there are so many people ashamed and hate America, why do we have this problem with birthright citizenship? Why do so many people want to come to America if we are so inherently evil and bad? Why does everybody want to come here? You tell me. If we're so bad, why does everybody want to come here? Why is the issue of birthright citizenship a question? I think that shoots their argument in the foot about the fact that America is evil, disgusting, embarrassing, shameful. No, it's not. If it was, there wouldn't be a line of people trying to break down the door to get here. Just saying. Cowboy up, America. I'm Dave Adams, Street Level America, and that's what I think.